What is some advice that you have for people that want to be wrestling writers, or not even wrestling, any kind of writer?
Well, it's funny. The number one the number one answer to that question, at least, when I was hanging out with Bruce and Michael and everybody, was don't. Um, you don't know what you're stepping into. It's a whole thing. But I mean, I never really liked that answer of don't, because, like, look, if this is something you want to do and want to pursue it, you should give it a shot. What the
Yeah.
hell? I
You're
mean,
going to do it anyways, or you're going to regret it. Just do it and live and learn.
exactly. Um, I think I don't know what specifically the process is now. I think there's like you know, um, a place where you give a sample or two. At least this is my memory of it, and then you meet with the writers. I met with Vince when I first started, but
I
you
love that you had to meet with everybody on your first day.
that was
Everybody.
crazy. Yeah, HR, Russo and Ferrara, Shane McMahon, and then Vince and Linda, with Linda having to cancel at the last second because of another meeting. So just me and Vince,
I
all
would have died.
26. Um, but I would say this, like, as far as coming up with materials and everything and meeting, there's a misnomer out there as far as, like, WWE doesn't want fans to be part of the writing team. That's not true.
Yeah, I
They
don't think that's true.
Yeah, the more you know of WWE and the history and the characters, the more it's going to benefit you. Uh,
Sure.
Now, what they don't want is you coming in like a walking dirt sheet and being like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the smart marks are going to like this.
Ugh.
Get over by this, and that type of talk
Hmm.
that will, like, put you on the no list pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because there are already reasons. There's always a reason for the wrestling business itself. It's like, it's so secretive and so protected. I remember, well, Nick Manfredini
Hmm.
from WWE. He's a
Yeah.
writer. He used to work at I think he was an intern at Howard Stern. And I remember when we interviewed him, and, like, yeah, we like this guy. Let's hire him. And Michael Hayes being like, "Do you think Howard sent him in so he could join us and get our secrets?" And he wasn't joking. I'm like, listen, I can't say I know Howard Stern. I like his show.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee you he doesn't give a shit about our secrets. Like, no,
I love that.
that doesn't worry me even slightly. So he hired Nick, and he's still there to this day.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
he's great.
but yeah, you need to be, like, obviously creative. You need to be persistent, because there's going to be a lot of, okay, and I hear these stories a lot. Like, I called HR. They say they're still working on it, blah blah blah. You need to keep calling them, even if, almost to the point of annoyance. But it's
Yeah.
my internship at Conan when I was a college student. I just kept calling to the
That's
point
how I
where,
got my first job in TV too. I was like, you guys gonna bring me in, or did you look at my demo reel? Do you want me to resend it? Did it not make it through? Like, I hounded them so much that they're like, all right, sure,
yeah,
take a
no
job.
mas, just
Yeah.
keep calling us. Show up on Monday.
Yeah.
Um, and then, once, if you're lucky enough to get hired, and once you're in there, to, like, really, I don't know, there's this fine line of wanting to make an impact and wanting to stand out, but also not wanting to, like, rock the boat
It's a
and be like
really rough
something
spot to be in.
so precarious. You just, that's why. And then there's also the trap of becoming friends too soon with someone who's not really utilized. And I write about it in the book, because I bonded with Al Snow when I first started.
Yeah.
Literally every other word out of my mouth when I was with Vince was, well, what if we did Al Snow versus this person? What about Al Snow? And he's like, damn it, Brian, you and
Ah,
Al Snow. Now I'll show you. Al Snow will never be on anything. Oh, well, that backfired.
I
Um,
always find that to be a really interesting spot though, because you see people, join WWE in any capacity, whether you're a writer, a talent, producer, like whatever it is. And you're like, I'm going to change this thing that we all know that we want to change, and just like lean into a little bit. And then when those things don't happen, or you're pushing too hard or what have you, it can be it can be a really rough spot to be in, that's for sure.
Yeah, and especially like, look, I was lucky in the sense of it's much easier to make an impact when you're one of two writers for the entire
Sure.
WWE. And even after a year had gone by, there was maybe like five of us. And ultimately, like, Bruce and Michael joined the writing team. But it was always like, even when we split the writing team, it was always like three or four writers and an assistant. It wasn't like this, you know, gigantic staff that's commensurate with the amount of talent that's out there.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's hard, especially and maybe this is another thing that changes with Paul, but it's like you have to earn your right to get into the Vince meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the beginning, there were so few of us that we were just all in the Vince meeting.
Right.
It's easier to make an impact when you're in the Vince meeting because, if there's he doesn't play favorites. If there's an idea that he likes, be like, oh, who said that?
Right.
Strong.
Yeah, now it seems like it's at least when I was there, it's like, all right, we'll all get in the room, but then when we really get down to brass tacks, we go to the smaller meeting.
Yes.
I was not in the smaller meeting. I would go back to catering at that point. I'm like, okay, bye now.
Yeah, well,
All to you guys.
some people look at it as, shucks, I'm not in the smaller meeting. Some people look at it as Tim Robbins breaking out of Shawshank.
Yeah.
Finally, I could live life now.